G'day guys, welcome to Rumble's Fish Room. So, as you can probably tell from the title, I'm having problems with the Hw-5000 Sun canister filter. Now, I've been putting up with this for like a week. I did have a plan to swap it back over, but basically, I want to make a DIY canister because it'll make good footage for you guys, but I just don't have the time at the moment, so I was trying to put it off until then, but I'm going to have to pull this thing apart and have a look at what's wrong with it. So I'll show you what it's doing. Alright guys, I'm just kicking a rabbit while I'm going here. Maggie, say hi to the camera. No. Alright, so I gotta change camera settings actually. Alright, round 2, let's go. Oh, so for anybody who's not a Patreon, the plant wall's gone. The video about it is on the Patreon. But anyway, so I've got 2 canister filters here. So this problem was kind of masked up because the right one's still working fine. That's also a Sun P4000. Those things run flawlessly. I've had 2 or 3 of them, and I honestly have never had a problem with them. I shouldn't say that now, but I'm going to. So what I've done, I've unplugged the right hand one and I've closed the taps so water can't flow through it, because these are plumbed in series, guys. So I have to isolate one to diagnose. So this thing's on full bore, which should be 4,700 litres per hour. How many litres do you reckon that is? That's not even 1,000, guys. I don't know what's going on with it, so we're going to have to pull it out. It's a bit of a nightmare to pull out, but I don't know, pulling out is always bad. Alright, so step 1, unplug the power. Probably turn the CO2 off as well, because we don't need CO2 running while we're doing this. So we'll try to close these taps. Honestly, from last time I did this, the taps didn't work that well and they leaked, but we'll try again. I'm trying not to say bad stuff about this canister, I really am, guys, but it's just not doing that great for me. I had low expectations and it's under succeeded those low expectations. I'd really like to just straight out buy a brand new Aqua One Nautilus 2700, but Korean Pet Central, who you guys mostly know, are waiting on stock because of the virus. Well, that's quite heavy. Oh, for anybody who, I don't think I mentioned this on the channel, I got a 6 kilo bottle. I was going through the 2 kilo too quickly. I didn't want to reduce how much CO2 I was using, so I just resolved it by getting a bigger bottle. But it's very tight in this cabinet, because the top of the tank is only 6 foot. Let's sit that there. Alright, so it's a 2-hand job getting this out, so I'll meet you guys outside with the filter. Alright, let's have a look. I couldn't imagine it being too dirty in here. It hasn't been set up that long, but I do. Man, it's another 2-hander. I'm not very good at this vlogging thing. Oh, I don't think I'm actually going to be able to pick those all up at once. Hey, check this out. I've got a thing called a tripod. We've got some fresh dividers here too. Therefore, I'll show you actually after this. We'll put those in this same video. Alright, tripod time. Alright, so it's the fly wire, guys. So I don't know what I'm going to do about this, because the fly wire kind of needs to stay. Because see, the bottom of this tray is too coarse and the small media goes through it and gets sucked in the pump. Oh, it's not fly wire, guys. What did I put that in there for? Alright, so it's of no fault of the pump. Alright, so you guys probably can't see this, but I've got fly screen, which is actually what I thought I had in here. So, past me has annoyed future me, because I thought this is what was in here. But anyway. So, fun fact guys, the more porous the ceramic media is, the better it filters, but the easier it breaks. So if you guys just saw how easily I snapped that backy rod, I did it on purpose, because in a canister filter, full backy rods are a pain. But, so the more porous they are, the weaker they are, which means the less time they last. But ones that are less porous will outlast the more porous ones, but don't have as much surface area for filter media. Well, for not filter media, for beneficial bacteria. The filter came with white filter wool, and I actually tore it up into like 3 pieces and thought putting a really thin layer on the bottom would work, but it still got clogged up. And also being at the bottom made it more inclined to get clogged up, because all the sediment trying to settle was settling in that filter wool. Pretty good for filtration, A1 for particle removal, but really bad for extra maintenance. I can't be bothered opening the canister filter every month. Well, it's probably been longer than a month. You guys probably know better than me. Alright, I'm going to set this back up. I'm not going to film it. You guys saw me pull it out. Alright guys, I haven't plugged it back in power. I didn't fill it up with water. I've got no idea if it's going to prime. Maybe if I take this off. I don't know if it would bleed just from the downward pressure, because one good thing about the way this is plumbed is it's drilled, so the water falls back down into it, whereas a canister has to lift it over the top of the glass. But that's like 20 litres of air in there, so it might not work straight away. One thing I hate about turning this canister on, it sounds like it's broken every time. But I'll just give it a minute. I think I might just turn the camera off for a minute, guys. If it's going to prime, it's going to take a while, you know, because it does need a lot of water. I'll be back in a minute and let you know my results. Alright guys, I'm completely over this filter. So it turns out that that sponge in the bottom wasn't actually what was stopping the flow. I still don't know what was. I'm kicking myself because I didn't take the pump off when I emptied it just before. I should have taken the pump off and inspected the pump. But the reason I didn't take it off is because last time I took it off, it didn't seem that secure and there were screws missing. So I don't really want to mess around with it because I'm worried that I'll create a leak. But it's kind of come to that now. I've had the drain hose on it with a bucket. I bled all the air out and plugged it all back in. It makes noise. It does nothing. I've double checked that all the taps are open. If I open that, water comes through, so there's definitely not a blockage. So yeah, like, see, I've got the hose on the drain pipe. But yeah, if I pull this microphone up, you guys hear it sounds like it's working, but it's not. But see that pipe there? That water should be moving. So, man, sorry, I just forgot I dropped the microphone then. So the problem here is, not only is that filter not working, that means that my CO2 isn't working either, because the CO2 runs through that canister. I'm just going to leave it for half an hour, let it make that noise, let it do whatever it wants, and I'll come back because I'm frustrated at it right now. Obviously I can't sell it in this condition. Wait, I'm tripping over CO2 bottles. I can't sell it in this condition. I'm out of pocket $200. It's not even, it's only however old it is. I'm going to say 6 weeks old. And that's the other canister filter flowing. So luckily there's still one canister filter running. The fish aren't going to die. But like, I don't know. I've always been an advocate for Sun. Example A. I find they run sweet as long as you look after them. I haven't done anything wrong with this filter. Like, it just stopped working. And 6 weeks, man. Are you serious? But anyway, I'll quickly show you guys these dividers. I'm not going to do a full video on it because you guys have seen hundreds of dividers. But I want to get them in and I want to show them off because they're cool. Alright, so you'll have to excuse the mess. Hey, look, we can turn this light off. Look at this, ready? Boom. Boom. No reflection. So, Perspex dividers. They just look so much better than egg crate. And, there's one advantage which you guys might not think of, which, ignore the mess, guys. I've got to vac this tank. So because there's only holes, it's not a grate. It's so much harder to push because it's got to push the water instead of that just pushing the divider through the water. So like grumpy males like this guy, he can't push it over as easy. So that's got 6 suction cups on it because he pushes that over, whereas realistically with that divider I could probably get away with 4. I've only got 4 on this one here. She's hiding in the pipe there. She's going to be an absolute stunner. I think if all goes to plan, that's going to be my main female breeder. The one in here, she's not as nice. Sorry, I don't mean to be rude, girl, but you're not as nice. But the fact that the silk is more likely to breed than Elsa at the moment, so I've got the better girl with the silk. I'm going to keep the egg crate dividers. I got the hiccups, guys. I haven't even had dinner. Egg crate comes in handy. Let's go have a look at the canister filter. Alright, so the canister filter is clearly not working. I want to take this pipe off in one last try. I cleaned this the other day. It's got no plant matter and stuff in it, so that's definitely not stopping anything. That's my return, so sometimes this does get a little bit blocked up, but pretty rarely because I've got that sponge filter there around the weir, which stops all the plant matter. And I just now can't find the pipe. Oh. one of the harder holes to try and get it in. I feel, oh, I got it. I was about to say I feel like this is an off-camera task. This is already a long video and I'm doing lots of pauses. Alright guys, so filter not working. That is the result of today's video. Alright guys, just before we end the video, it's the next day but I thought I'd film. I set the Nautilus 2700 back up. So right now that canister is off and only the 2700's on. And look at the flow. I actually want to put this back on. So, well, I didn't need that to clarify, but yeah, 100%. Well, it wasn't working at all. And do you know what the kicker is? I've pulled it all apart. Oh no, the bird's out. Oh, I've pulled it all apart and check this out. Got the controller here. I don't know which plug's which, so we'll just plug both of them in. You ready? And it works. I took the motor off, checked the impeller, nothing wrong with the impeller. I mean, look how much water that's moving. There's no obstructions. I pulled the whole thing apart. The only thing is, this is flashing error 21. I think that's the UV. But now, I don't even know if I feel comfortable selling this. Like, I want to sell it because I don't want this to be $200 out of pocket just to do a review video on a piece of crap. Oh guys, if you like this video, give a thumbs up. If you want to subscribe for more, hit the little red button. If you've got advice on what I've done wrong with the canister filter, let me know. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace out.